Now that you've seen what we did in the previous lesson, yes, our glorious game of dodging kamikaze chickens, it's time to pose and answer something important. What exactly is vibe coding? It's important to understand that vibe coding is not a tool, not a programming language, and not just a gimmick. Vibe coding is actually a new paradigm. And if you're here, it's probably because you feel that something big is changing right now. Vibe coding is a way to create software using artificial intelligence, where you don't actually write the code yourself. You just explain to the AI what you want to build, and it generates it for you. And the AI does it in real time, in the language that you need, following your instructions, your style, and your purpose. But don't get confused. This doesn't mean doing less. It simply means doing things from a new place. You are no longer the one writing the lines of code, but you are the one conducting the orchestra of the system. You are the one designing the experience by vibe coding. It's also a work philosophy. It's about thinking at a higher level. It's about building what you speak. It's about flowing and turning ideas into functionality without technical barriers. It's no longer about knowing how to program something, but it's about knowing what you want to build, what it is for, and how it should feel. Vibe coding is not just assisted code. It's code guided by intention. We write prompts like, I want a simple login with a minimalistic and modern design, or make it Spotify-like, but for recipes, or make it feel smooth, clean, and fast. So yes, we are talking about vibes, about feelings, and that's where the word vibes comes from, which means vibration. Unsurprisingly, the AI gets it all. So what are the steps in a good vibe coding process? First, you have an idea, then you speak to the AI in natural language. It gives you back the code, you read it, test it, request changes, and refine it. That back and forth ends up building a functional application from scratch without you needing to know how to program. But how advanced is this technology? Well, very advanced. Some of the tools that we'll be learning to use, like VS Code or LangCLI, not only generate code, but also create files, run commands, update entire projects, and even deploy applications. That's called agentic behavior. The AI doesn't wait for you to tell it step by step what to do. Instead, it takes initiative, suggests solutions, and executes things on its own. So this behavior is called agentic because you are literally working with an intelligent agent that collaborates with you. And how did coding come about? Well, in the early years of AI, it was mainly used to assist us with code that we wrote ourselves. Then came a moment, for the first time in history, where the technology evolved enough to make vibe coding possible. This was because one day in the past, AI started understanding how we write, and that was amazing. But now they also understand how we code. And then came specialized AI programming tools like Cursor, Langly, and many others, which started gaining popularity rapidly. Suddenly, the field of coding grew faster than many imagined. And today, if you want to keep up with the new rhythm at which things are created in the world, you really have to learn and master coding. So let me tell you what I would tell my brother or my daughter if they asked me for advice. Don't stay on the sidelines of byte coding. In fact, hop on this wave as fast as you can. And the million-dollar question is, and always will be, do I need to be a programmer to use vibe coding? Well, no. And in case that wasn't clear, I will say it again. You don't need to be a programmer to create programs with vibe coding. So does that mean that programming is no longer worth doing? I didn't say that. If you already know how to code, it's an extra advantage that will let you build more, faster, and with less friction. Another common question is, does vibe coding work for everything? Well, not exactly. Vibe coding really shines in cases like personal projects, prototypes, and demos. It's great for quick MVPs, which are minimum viable products, proof of concept, and learning by doing. However, it's not ideal yet for things like robust production code, for complex enterprise-grade projects, or for critical apps with advanced security requirements. But that doesn't mean that you can't use it in those contexts. It just still requires human supervision, validation, and some adjustments. The most important thing is that vibe coding is a mindset shift. You are no longer a traditional developer. Instead, you're a conductor, a product manager, and a strategist. Your job now is to break an idea into small parts, clearly communicate what you want, and then review what the AI delivers. You'll iterate until the result matches your vision. In other words, you're creating software without losing creative control. You are becoming part of something huge. This isn't just a course, it's a turning point where what you're about to learn here might change how you think, how you create, and even your career. So yes, vibe coding is the future, but you are not in the future. You are in the present, and you're right on time. See you in the next lesson.